What's up, BEATNIKERS? Welcome back to my channel once again. If you're new here, consider subscribing because I feel that my goal is to bring you the most delicious thinking and enhance your intellect to escape velocity. Let's start today's day. The goal of today's video is, this is not a foreign topic on my channel to speak about how to find a part-time job or internship. I have already spoken about this topic previously. I'm going to link that video in the description. Make sure that you check today's description very thoroughly because I'm going to be putting a lot of links there, what I'm talking about as a part of a reference, so that you can exactly go down there and open and click that link. Now, getting back to the point, this is not a foreign topic for me to speak about, particularly when it comes to finding a part-time job, internship, finding a full-time job while sitting in India or elsewhere in the world. In the previous video, I spoke about process part, but this time, today, I'm going to be talking about the tools what I have used personally myself to find part-time job internship in my career so far here in Germany. Alright, I'm going to be giving out all those secrets, whether it is about resumes, how to find how much am I eligible to get paid for. Make sure that you watch today's videos till the last, and I promise you that you will have a lot of information to take away from this video. Let's start. Alright guys, I'm sitting right in front of Adlon Hotel. This is the exact spot where I sat and explained you guys about MBA. To be honest, I was thinking before filming this video, like, where should I do it? And of course, office is one choice where I can sit down and usually whatever I filmed there, but I thought like, that's so boring, right? I wanted to have a bit of action behind me, but try to keep the concentration because I know there's a lot of noise around. There's a music going on, there are people walking behind me, but try to keep this attention right here because there's a lot of information which I'll be sharing with you guys. Now, the first thing first, which I want to begin with without pandering around this topic. All of us know we need CV. I remember in my bachelor's, we were about to start with the campus placement and we were told very clearly that on the day of campus, you have to come on the campus with your CV. Now, I was like, wait, before bachelor's, I never made any CV to give out anywhere. And I asked my roommate, as usual, that's what we do generally, right? We ask our friends, brothers, sisters, dad, mom, somebody who assists you. For a lot of years of my life, I literally thought like, hey, you know, whatever he wrote, I'm gonna write the same thing. This is exactly a time where you should get serious about it. So CV doesn't clearly mean that Control C and Control V. It also means that you should invest good amount of time, I would say. I remember the last CV I think I made like 6-8 months back. I genuinely invested 3 to 4 days fully on it to make it look better, keeping what am I good in my mind. Okay, so CV, it doesn't mean, because it's a real reflection of you, who you are, right? So the first one which you can use is free resume templates. Okay, in this, generally there are a lot of templates which are available. You can click any of them, fill it all your information, and you can save it simply and it's yours. Completely, very well formatted. So second tool which I would recommend you guys is Enhance, E-N-H-A-N CV in capital. Alright, if you want more information you can also Google it, but they also have the same functionality. The third thing which I would recommend you guys is Summary. So it's spelled like S-U-M-R-Y. So the whole purpose of using all these tools is to have a very well formatted CV with the right keywords. That's your responsibility to put inside, to put right skills, what you're good at, and you have to send that CV to exact right place, somebody who's looking out for that kind of skill sets. Other tool which I can recommend you is also called CV Maker. That's the most simplest thing you can ever use. Last two tools is actually for someone who is kind of lazy and don't want to invest much time into CV, like 3, 4, 5 days, 7 days. There are two tools which you can use. First one is LinkedIn Resume Builder. It's a very straightforward and simple. The only thing what you need is updated LinkedIn profile. I'm going to talk about LinkedIn separately. For now, use LinkedIn Resume Builder. Second thing which I want to recommend is called Credle. It's spelled as C-R-E-D-D-L-E. It's also a LinkedIn based profile builder that will also help you to make your resume at the end of the day, or CV, whatever you want to call it. Now, all in all these CVs depends completely upon the industry where you're sending out. person whom you're sending out and what is the job description you're looking out for. You know there is a wide array of industries available, so you can adapt using all these tools and make a very specific resume for a specific industry. For example, if you're a graphic designer, it should reflect your potential just by looking at your CV. I'm going to keep it short, so make sure that you can find all these links in the description. Second point is about company review sites. I have 3 websites which I want to give you. If you are someone who wants to know what is this company about, you don't know much, or they have a good website but it doesn't really say what is the work culture like, how is relation with employee to employer there. Now you know very famous platform called Glassdoor, where you can simply go type company's name and you'll get all the history, what employees have written about employer, right? So that way employers don't have a control over their PR, because a lot of companies, they want to portray themselves to be the best and attract talented people towards them, right? Everybody wants to work for Google, everybody wants to work for Facebook. Why? Because they are successful brands that will give them leverage in their future jobs. Now how will you get to know that whether this company is successful, and it will enhance your career also further from where you are right now? So Glassdoor is first website which I would recommend you. Go ahead and I think it's very straightforward and simple, and most of the people know Glassdoor. The second one is only for females. It's called Fairy God Boss. Okay, now you know that females have had difficult times in the company to cope up with the pay gap, with the promotions, with a lot of other issues, right? Just because of that, this website Fairy God Boss is exclusively made for females, where they can discuss their issues, get to know about the company, etc, etc. Third tool which I would recommend under this section is called Work Difference. That's how it is called, Work Difference. In fact, this platform only works with company who are more into employee engagement, someone who is looking out for work-life balance very well, right? So when you go on this platform, you'll find exactly companies who work with Work Difference, and that may be helpful for you, because if you have a family to look after, if you are with a baby, and if you have a lot of other responsibilities, so work-life balance. So this platform will give you companies who are looking after their employees relating to work-life balance. So the third section which I want to discuss with you is the salary comparison. So which platform can you compare your salaries? How much are you worth of? So there are 2 websites which I generally use. One is called payscale.com and the other one is called salary.com. When you go to this website, either of them, you will get exactly of how much are you worth of, how much monthly do you deserve to be get paid, etc, etc. Alright, so the fourth section which I would like to call is the contact manager. Basically, you can use certain tools to do the follow-up, whether it is regarding filing of applications for a job or talking to a guy whom you spoke to 3 months back. First one is called Job Hero. So Job Hero is more specifically, I would recommend for keeping a track of how many number of applications have you filed starting till the last. So I've used that, works so good. Second tool which I would like to recommend to you guys is called NextCall. What this tool does is, if you've spoken to someone 3 months back in an event and you were supposed to send him an email or etc, etc, because when we file applications, whether it's for internship, part-time job or full-time job, we go with full force, you know that, like, we go for at least 100, 200, 300 applications. So when you're doing a back and forth emailing, how are you able to keep a track of everybody, right? So this tool will segregate everything in a very proper order. Now, fifth part, I would like to call it as social media. A lot of people may have a difference of opinion on that. How can you find a part-time job internship using Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc? You know that how many platforms they have come up now. If you closely notice, every application has its own psychology, You don't behave same way when you enter Facebook versus LinkedIn. You don't behave same when you enter Instagram versus Twitter, right? And there are tens of thousands which have come out now. So your goal is only to see that how can you use every social media platform to its full potential, as long as it gets your job done. Now the first app / tool which I would recommend you, which most of you guys may already have it by now, is LinkedIn. Now don't use LinkedIn just like Facebook and keep sending requests to random people. See how can you connect them and what value are you providing them in return. Like, why will I connect to a painter unless there is a requirement, right? Why will I connect to a food and beverage manager in my industry unless I have some sort of relation? I mean, you have one thing in common, which is the industry, but a food and beverage manager, unless he knows you, will not add you, because if you keep spamming people, that's not how it works out in industry anymore, right? You know that we have reached to a point where our attention span has gone so less, in fact less than 5 seconds. That's why there is a 5-second skip ads. There are days where you open your mail and you'll find 5 newsletters from random companies whom you logged in 6-8 months back, and now it takes a hell lot of time to unsubscribe that newsletter than to subscribe the newsletter. So in this section I would recommend you to go ahead and use LinkedIn. Now, how can you use LinkedIn when you have already filled out all the necessary information? What you can do is you can ask all your friends whom you know to endorse your skill. That's number one. Number two, what you can do is whatever papers you have published so far, you can put it on LinkedIn just to show people that what kind of potential you have and what are your calibers, right? That is a reflection of who you are. When people, in fact, employers here in Germany mostly rely on LinkedIn's information first, then etc. other things comes into picture. Second thing which I would like to recommend to you guys is called Xing. It's a LinkedIn of Germany. Okay, if you want to connect with employers here in Germany, you need to sign up on Xing to find potential German employers. Third thing I would like to recommend to you is Twitter. Why Twitter? Because, for example, I would like to work for BMW and they launched a product. Of course, Twitter today in 2018 is the biggest platform where companies like to announce, because a lot of attention is on Twitter right now. It's good to know their newly launched product, just in case if you would like to go and give an interview, you at least are aware about that, right? Then fourth thing I would like to recommend to you is Facebook. You know, like Facebook is, you can join groups, you can be part of the events which are taking place in the city, etc, etc. So Facebook is not that effective on the list, but Facebook can be effective to connect you with different people there. Fifth tool which I would like to recommend to you is email. When I say email, means when you're sending out an email, make sure that you have a signature all the time, whether it is employer or someone who can give you a job. Okay, you always should have a signature at the bottom of your email, which could consist your name, your contact details, your designation, whether you're a student, and if you're a student, then what student are you, and that's it. Like, and you know, basically whatever your occupation is.